Amway leaders, greetings. Welcome to Nutrilite Advanced Triple Omega-3 Expert Speaker Product Training Seminar. I'm Agnes from Market Research Department. Greetings. Today we are very honored to have from our headquarters an important guest speaker with us. He is the Principal Nutrition Research and Clinical Investigator, Dr. Aaron. He has taken part in the research work of this new product. This morning at 4:30 a.m., together with his team, they went to our headquarters to prepare for this seminar. Now he is waiting online to share this new product with you.
Hello.
Hi, Agnes. How are you doing?
We do look forward to your sharing and introduction of the new product. Now over to you, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone in Hong Kong and Macau. My name is Arun Rajgopal. I'm a principal research scientist and nutrition investigator here at the Amway headquarters in Ada. I support mostly nutrition products with the science and the product development. Along with that, I have also supported artistry. So I have worked in various different products. I have been with Amway for more than 17 years now. I have worked in the XX, the Omega products. I have worked in the protein APP. In the artistry side, I have worked in Supreme LX, skin nutrition, and various other products. About my background, I grew up in India, Calcutta, did my PhD there, and then I did postdoctoral research in New York at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and then at UMass Medical School near Boston. I worked on looking at transport of many vitamin B in cells. I've looked at different cell signaling mechanisms, and I was excited to join Amway because my background is nutrition. And as you all know, Amway does a great job in helping people live the best in their lives. A fun fact I wanted to share, because when Agnes said that, that she invited me to speak for the ABOs in Hong Kong and Macau, one of the fun fact is when I was growing up in Calcutta, we were a huge fan of Bruce Lee. We saw his movies. I don't know whether the names are similar here and in Hong Kong, but the Enter the Dragon, Fist of Fury, Return of the Dragon were some of the movies we grew up. We had posters of Bruce Lee in our house, and we were like mesmerized by his nunchaku expertise in the movies. And one of my dreams is to go to Hong Kong one day and take a picture in front of the bronze statue of Bruce Lee. So that is the fun fact. So today, it is my honor, really an honor, to speak about one of my passion in nutrition, Omega-3, to all of you. I personally am very, very grateful for the work you put to sell the products which we develop thinking about you in the mind and all the consumers. And that gives me a great honor and pride that I can share the science of omega with you today. So let's go to the first slide, please. So when I saw this slide gives me mixed feelings. One of surprised from the left side, because I thought that the highest life expectancy in the world would be population in Japan, but I was wrong. And what was surprising, that the citizens of Hong Kong, their average life was 85.83 years, second best to Monaco. That was a big surprise. But when I see the right side of the slide, I think, oh, what's going on here? 60% of Hong Kong citizens have three highs: high blood sugar, high lipids, and high blood pressure. Oh man, is that what when I see that, yes, citizens of Hong Kong have a long life, but their quality of life in the last years are not great. Quality of life, there's a new word for that which scientists use now: health span. So the health span is not great for the last 15% of their life in Hong Kong. And that, I think, we have now more understanding about nutrition to change that. And when I was doing some research, I found that one of the major diseases by which the Hong Kong citizens pass away, they die, is due to problems because of circulation. So I understand now, with this high level of three highs and the circulation problem, heart as an tissue, as an organ, we need to take care of. Because, let's go to the next slide, please. Heart is an wonderful organ. It pumps 2,000 gallons of blood per day, unbelievable. And it beats 100,000 times. So, to improve our health span, one of the great things, one of the best things we can do is to keep our heart healthy. But if you can go to the next slide, we can see it is very hard to keep our heart healthy. Why? Because of the diet, the nutrition, the processed food, very tasty. It's wonderful to eat. We cannot stop eating, but that gives us the bad fat, and then bad fat leads to the three highs. That then leaves us, our heart not functioning well. So we need to change that. And one way we can go to the next slide, please, is by what Nutrilite has developed, our omega-3s supplement. Why? Because the Nutrilite omega-3 is one of the best and purest supplement you can get. Not all fish oils are created equal. We have done deep science research and come up with a formula which gives you 3 times better absorption. It doesn't give you a fishy burp. And it is very potent, and it gives a complete source of the omega-3s. So let's now take a deeper dive. Let's go to the next slide, please. So in this talk, I will give an introduction about the problem. There's a lot of problems, but I will just touch it. And then with the solution, I will touch a little deeper in science about what omega-3 does and some stories about how omega-3, how it was discovered that the omega-3 helps many things, especially our heart. And then we will tell you why the Nutrilite Omega is the #1 selling omega-3 everywhere. So let's go to the next slide, please. Yes, the problem, as we said, we don't get enough omega-3 from the diet alone. And why is that? That will be apparent in the next few slides. Let's go to the next slide. Most people eat or consume less than 20% of the world's population have less healthy fats and very low omega-3. There are many regions in the world, Europe, North America, they eat even less. But omega-3 is very important. Why? Because they are essential. What does essential mean? Essential mean we cannot make it within our body. Our body cannot synthesize omega-3. It needs to be from our diet. But what is happening in our diet? Next slide, please. The modern nutrition, the modern food companies is making us eat less of good fats. Our body loves food which has got high energy like fat and sugar, very tasty. But if you eat excess, we don't get the opportunity to take the good fats like omega-3. And then what happens in our body? There's an increase of omega-6s, which is present in this processed food. And then that leads to a disbalance between omega-3 and omega-6. But science and research has told that there is solution for that. And what is that solution? Is taking fish, nuts, avocados, a healthy, wholesome diet, and optimal nutrition. But even then, it is very difficult to get that omega-3s which the body needs, especially during during the middle age, and as we get old. All through our life, we need constantly high amount of omega-3s. So for that, we need to supplement. And as I've told also earlier, the Nutrilite omega-3 is one of the best supplements you can have for the body to increase the omega-3s. Let's go to the next slide. And that is what it is, the advanced triple omega-3. Purest, potent, gives you 3 times better absorption. But as I told you, one of my passion in nutrition is omega-3. So I take this opportunity to go a little deeper in the omega-3 sciences, what it does, why it gives those benefits. So let's go with some science, not too deep, but some of the science to understand the beauty of omega-3s. Let's go to the next slide, please. Yes. So omega-3 fatty acids. If you look at the right side, They are essential fatty acids. Humans cannot make it. And you can get this omega-3 both from plants in the land, like the chia plant and the chia seed oil, and in the marine, the small microalgae called phytoplankton. They are also in the plant around because they do photosynthesis. They are in the plant kingdom, and they are the producers of omega-3, not the fish. Fishes eat it, and we harvest, and then they have the omega-3 in their body, and we harvest the fish and get that oil to get the omega-3. But it was produced by the phytoplanktons. The structure of omega-3, which you will see in the next slide, but they have got many, we call it as double bonds, and that is why they are polyunsaturated. And what is the beauty is that this omega-3 fatty acid must be present in adequate amount in all our cells. And how many cells? Around 330 trillion cells in our body. I want to take this opportunity to tell you why it is named as omega-3. Why? Because, and you will see in the next slide, is that when you see those structures, there are three structures there. There are three omega-3s, the alpha-linolenic acid, the icosapentaenoic acid, which is the EPA, and the docosahexaenoic acid, which is the DHA. And the alpha-linolenic acid is the ALA. When you look at from the left to right, the right one, the last one is a carbon atom, and that is the omega carbon atom. And why it is called omega-3? Because the third atom has the first unsaturation, or what we call in chemistry, double bond. So that is why all these fatty acids, the first double bond is the third carbon atom from the end. That is why it is called the omega-3 fatty acids. From fish, we get EPA and DHA. And from plant in the land, we get the ALA, the alpha-linolenic acid. We need all the three to have the optimal nutrition for omega-3. Let's go to the next slide, please. Omega-3 is one of the extensively studied compounds. What do I mean by that? There have been hundreds of human clinical research on omega-3. You can see the omega-3 on the top out there with lot of human data. What does that mean when I say human data? It means that it has been so much studied actually what happens in humans. There's a lot of studies in cell, in animal, but in humans, lots of studies. It means it is safe. Number two, so much data, we can be very confident it is beneficial for heart, for brain, for eyes, for joint, for skin, and now new research is telling it might be helpful for your muscle. It is one of the magical things you can have it to improve your optimal health, to control. And as in the first slide I said that we showed, 60% have the three highs. To control that, this is the most easiest and the best thing you have. And the Nutrilite Omega is the best, the most potent, with 3 times high absorption. So it was well studied, but I want to share now is how it all started. It all started, guess where? Let's go to the next slide. In Greenland. In this picture, you have three people you see. The left one and the right one were the two scientists in Norway. The left, they were the doctors and scientists. The left person was known, his name was Dr. H.O. Bang, and the right person was Jorn Dyerberg. So these both were doctors in Norway, and in a research article, Dr. H.O. Banks found that this small population in Greenland, they had very low heart diseases. But what was surprising that they used to have a lot of fat from the blubbers of or the fat deposit of seals and sharks. So it's a paradox, right? They eat a lot of fat, but they are not having any heart disease. Why is that? That was very interesting. So they went on an adventure to Greenland and they collected blood from the people living in Greenland and they did some experiments. So the center person, it was the person who took them around. He was the guide who took them around the Greenland collecting blood and talking to people who were living in Greenland. And when they came to the lab and analyzed, it was magical. It was a great discovery. Let's go to the next slide, please. What they found, it's a little complicated science, deep in data, but I will just take you easily over and tell you what this says. So on the right side with the table, what it says, that when you compare the people living in Norway to people living in Greenland, you will find that the arachidonic acid, omega-3s, were very high in people living in Norway, but very low for people living in Greenland. And it was opposite for EPA, one of the omega-3 fatty acid, eicosapentaenoic acid. It was very high for the people living in the Greenland, but it was not as much, very, very low for people living in Norway. What does that tell? Same thing is happening today too. The modern nutrition with burgers, fries, and all the tasty things contains a huge amount of omega-6, and we don't take a lot of omega-3. And on the left one with those, two strips with the dark bands, what it says, the number one strip is the test from the blood of people living in Norway. And the right one is from the people living in Greenland. And what it shows that people living in Norway has high LDL and VDL, which are the very low density lipoproteins and low density lipoproteins. These are the carriers which causes problem in our circulatory system. But you see people living in Greenland, they have low amount of that. Same thing is happening in the modern day too. This research happened during 1970, 71, 72. What this tells is that omega-3 is a magical compound, is a magical thing. If you can take it with optimal food and supplementation, it will help you to control and take care of your heart. It will help you in improving your circulatory system, and that then will lead for a good quality of life. So let's go to the next slide. And why we need supplementation? Because as we saw, less than 20%, as I already told, in the world population consume marine omega-3 acid. So more than 80%, majority cannot consume. In North America, where I am today, in Europe, in Middle East, in Southeast Asia, less than 4%, very, very low blood levels of omega-3. So we need supplementation. Even though we can have omega-3 from food, we need supplementation. For that supplementation, good quality of omega-3. Many people sells omega-3. It can be cheap, but that will be harmful. We need good top quality omega-3, and that is what Nutrilite provides. Next slide, please. So what does EPA and DHA does? On the right side, you see these are the cell membranes that borders the cell. And in all the cell membranes, the icosapentaenoic acid, docosahexaenoic acid, they reside. That is the place of storage that makes this cell nice and flexible. That is what you need, to be nice and flexible, so that our tissues and our organs function well. And how does it give benefit to us? By three main things. It will help to decrease your inflammation. Inflammation is one of the biggest reasons for aging. So it can resolve the inflammation because of some residual inflammation, because of our modern lifestyle, the way we live, the way we eat, less exercise, we get inflammation, and that does not go away. And that leads to aging. That is what is called inflammaging. And omega-3 is that magical thing which can decrease the inflammation. It also makes the platelets. The platelets are the blood cells which goes through less sticky. So you don't get plaques or blockage in your arteries. Omega-3 will try to lower the blockages by making the platelet cells less sticky. And third way, these omega-3s can break down by the cell signaling pathway and will make oxylipins, which help in many different functions, in immune cell function, in our muscle cells, in our brain. They help in making or functioning our organs much better. And all these leads to whole body optimal health. What does that mean by whole body optimal health? It means that improved quality of life. Next slide, please, which will tell you what I'm talking about optimal life. This is my favorite slide. What does it show? There are, you can see different lines. The topmost dotted lines, this graph shows how people survive from 65 to 75 years. It's just in the last years of our life, how we are surviving. If you have high omega index, we survive the best. That is the top line. And the bottom line is for low omega-3 index. O3I means omega-3 index. It is a measure of the omega-3 in your blood. If you have low omega-3, you don't survive very well. You quickly pass away. your quality of life is not good. But so the lower one is with low omega-3 and you are smoking. So you have got low omega-3 and you are smoking, we know you are going to pass away quickly. The black line is people who are not smoking, but they have low omega-3. That is in between the high omega-3 and the low omega-3 with people smoking. But what is fascinating is if you are smoking, if you are a smoker, but you have high omega-3, which is what it protects you from dying very quickly. It gives you a big protection, even though you are smoking and you are harming, which I don't support smoking, but this just shows that omega-3 can neutralize some of the bad things that happens with smoking. So just imagine if you are, I understand, I think and I hope most of the audience here does not smoke. I don't support smoking. And just imagine that if you have high omega-3, how well your quality of life will be when you are at 65 years old and in the last part of your life. You have a high quality of life. You can spend a lot of time enjoying the life with your grandchildren, with your spouse, visiting different areas and enjoying life. So omega-3 again is that magical thing. I hope from this slide, from this data, you are convinced that if you can increase omega-3 in your body by optimal nutrition and with our advanced omega-3, you will have a highly satisfying, a great quality of life when it really matters. Can we go to the next slide, please? And so how can we get, or how can we increase our omega-3? By optimal nutrition with chia seeds, walnuts, chia oil, canola oil, and then having a diet of fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, herrings, white tuna. There's an acronym, SMASHT, SMASHT. Salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, herrings, and white tuna. Plus, I hope you are convinced wholesome food is not enough. You need advanced triple omega. Let's go to the next slide, please. And for this next generation, for the advanced omega, we have gone one step further. We know that when we take omega-3 fatty acid, there can be some issues with absorption. So we have gone and incorporated and formulated with a new technology, which is the AquaCell or SETS technology to emulsify and increase the absorption 3 times. And why we are saying 3 times? Because we have done human clinical experiments, human clinical trials, the gold standard, randomized controlled human clinical trials. And we have published it. And we have shown that if we compare with humans, the randomized controlled, placebo controlled. Placebo means just omega-3, and then we have used omega-3 and AquaCell. We see that the people who have taken omega-3 with AquaCell technology have 3 times more 3 times more of EPA and DHA in their blood. And that is fantastic. So in the next few slides, I will talk about what this technology is. Let's go to the next slide, please. So what is Aquacell? It is the SEDS technology. The SEDS is what? Self-emulsifying drug delivery system. And what is that? It emulsifies the omega-3 in our stomach and in our intestine. And very similar to what soap does with oil. Similar thing it does, but what it does, it makes into small, minute vesicles, small particles. That is what is being shown on the left side. And that small particle gives our digestive enzymes more opportunities to process for more efficient absorption. That is the magic. That is the way this SEDS technology works. It gives the opportunity for more efficient digestive enzymes to work. So the digestive enzymes to work, it makes the situation by emulsification more efficient. And that increase in efficiency increases the absorption. So how that works in real life, let's go to the next slide. Next slide, next click, please. Yeah, think there's a beaker, but it's a stomach, and you have the stomach acids there. Next slide is your fish oil. Next one, please, is your SEDS technology, the Aquacell one. Now, imagine you are taking the fish oil in your stomach. What happens? It will float on the top. Next slide, please. That is what you see. Why? Because the fish oil does not like the aqueous surrounding of water or the aqueous surrounding of your stomach. So it is floating on the top. It is not mixing well. So less efficiency for enzyme to work. Now you can see the magic. Next slide, please. That is what I was saying. There's a big one in the stomach. It is not mixing. Next slide, please. So now we are adding. Go ahead with the next slide. So again, now you see with the adding of the SEDS, emulsification is taking place. Gives more opportunity for enzymes to work. And there you see the magic, the nice emulsification. Let's go to the next slide. And that is what, it is showing here, nice emulsification, efficient action of your enzymes to work. Next one. Nice, efficient, and great absorption will happen. We'll go to the next slide. That is what here is shown in summary, that the left is just omega, but with SEDS, you see the small, minute particles. On the right, you see your hair, your hair picture, or, the microscopic picture of your hair. And you compare to that how small these particles are. They are nano size. And what it does is that it gives that opportunity. So SEDS makes this particle smaller than 3 by 100 of a cross section of your single hair. That is the magic. That is the technology which Amway has brought for you to make the absorption efficient. And each day you take it to make it count, to get your maximum absorption of EPA and DHA from each pill you take. So it is working, it is going all over the body, and as I showed you, it will improve your quality of life when it matters, after 60, when you are free, when you are kind of retired and enjoying life. Then you are not in pain, not taking medicine, no energy, no. You will be enjoying. So Make the investment today with omega-3, the advanced omega-3, to enjoy the fruits later in your life. Let's go to the next slide. Here I want to say one more thing we have done here is we have not used salmon as the source of omega-3. Why? Very simple. Amway develops product which is best for our consumers with a lot of depth in science. What today's science is telling, if we use oil from sardines, anchovies, and mackerel, which directly feed on phytoplankton, there is less accumulation of other contaminations. But if you take salmon, chances of more contamination, more impurity, which is not good for humans. So that is why we have not taken the salmon fish oil, but we have used the fish oil from the pollution-free waters of from South America, the anchovies, sardines, and mackerels, and brought the best omega-3 for you. Let's go to the next slide. So, as you all know, our omega-3 is the #1 omega-3 in global sales. And we have got many different certifications. On the left is the nutrient cert, which is for our chia oil, so that we can trace, and I will have one more slide later to show it traces from seed to the formulation. We can trace the map, the fate of the chia oil. We have certification from Friends of the Seas, which means we believe in marine conservation. Everybody wants fish oil, but we need to understand that nature has given this, and we cannot just take it randomly. We have to preserve so that generations after generation can get the benefit of this fish oil. So that is why we believe in sustainability and the conservation of harvesting fish. And that is why we get the fish oil from the suppliers who follow this, and we have the Friends of the Sea certification. We test repeatedly, and we ensure the products are and the ingredients are very, very, very safe. I take every day the Nutrilite omega-3. I believe in that. I see how we manufacture it. It is completely safe, and that is why we have the NSF certification. And then we have the GOED certification. This is like the gold certification. GOED is a group which understands the benefit of fish oil and does a lot of policy, working with many regulatory bodies all over the world. They also look and test and make, not suggestion, but make rules about certain compounds to be present in our fish oil. They are very, very strict. We follow their protocol. We follow their, suggestions, and we will test and we pass the certification from GOED. So I am proud to say that our Nutrilite brand standard is one of the best. Very, very low, and no impurities, one of the best fish oil and potent fish oil we have. With all this certification, we make sure that this is the best in this day and age. Anyone can produce the fish oil, and that is what we have done with our formulation. Go to the next slide, please. So why Nutrilite? Just to summarize, 3 times greater absorption, smaller concentrated soft gels, nutricerted with ALA, EPA, and DHA, all the source of omega-3s. It exceeds all the standards. It supports, as I told you, heart, brain, cellular health, and the advanced triple omega also provides joint, eyes, and skin health. Sustainably sourced with the Friends of the Sea certified and traceable chia. Let's go to the next slide, please. So, 2 soft gels of the advanced triple omega-3 gives us 100 milligram, 1000 milligram of EPA and DHA and provides 1144 milligram of omega-3. And what does that mean? It means a huge amount of fish, 13 plates of tuna sashimi. And what again this means is highly concentrated, best omega-3 that your body needs for optimal function. Let's go to the next slide. This shows how our omega-3 is developed by our supplier. It shows not 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, no, 9 steps of purification process of the EPA and DHA from the crude fish oil. What it shows for me, what it tells me, is that it is the best of the best. We get the fish oil. We do a lot of searching when we are developing this product. Let me tell you how we do. Hours and hours, we will meet with many of the suppliers. We will talk, we will ask questions. We might visit their manufacturing place. We will look and study different literature, science literatures. We will talk to the experts like Goed and other experts in the omega world to identify the best process for manufacturing. And then we match the suppliers who does that. We verify it. We go and audit these companies to say, okay, they say this, is this really true? And that is what we do it. And we bring the best, the purest, and the cleanest fish oil. Please feel assured. I hope I've convinced you. If not, again, I'm saying this is one of the best, purest, and cleanest fish oil you will get. Next slide, please. This shows the traceability of our chia oil from the time it is planted in the farm to the raw material which goes in our omega-3 in our supplement. This also has a 9-step story. And again, we don't compromise. We don't compromise. We don't want to make it cheap. We want to give you the best one so that long term, you will get the best benefit. Let's go to the next slide. So this is the comparison of how we have moved and shifted to the most advanced triple omega-3. Higher amount of omega. One tablet is 511 milligram of omega-3. And It does not contain salmon, but anchovies, sardines, and mackerel. Why? Because it gives you less contamination. It also has chia seed oil. Plus, it is 3 times absorption, so that every day you get the best optimal absorption when you take it. Each small, ultra concentrated soft gel gives you the best absorption and intake of this omega-3. And as you can see, all the certifications, the best certifications you can have. So the new omega is head and shoulders above the current omega in terms of potency, in terms of formulation, in terms of science, in terms of certification. Next slide, please. So I just want to talk about one more thing. Can you please go back to one slide back, please? Yes, here, when we were developing, there were a lot of discussion about one certification we don't have there, which is the, you may have guessed it, IFOS. We have a lot of discussion on that. And I want to give a couple of minutes on why we don't have that. First of all, I want to make sure to everyone that the supplier who gives us the fish oil, he has IFOS certification. So our formulation, the fish oil, has the IFOS certification. It is just why we don't have there is because the full formula does not have the IFOS certification. That is all. But we purposefully did not do it. Why? Because we don't want inefficiency. We don't want to just market and just tell people, oh, we have IFOS, if our competitors are doing, if it is not based in science. Why I'm saying that? Because we did a lot of research. We spoke with many companies who does this IFOS certification. We have looked at and did and spoke to many people. We found that IFOS certification and the certification we have is not big different. Why I'm saying that? Because GOED has the certification with the limits of different things, which is very similar to IFOS. Yes, there are some which has lower mark points for IFOS, lower amount. Yes, but that is the trick they are playing. Because when we went and spoke to many chemists internally and also in the academic lab, what they told us that yes, IFOS gives us this limit. Suppose that limit is, let's take a number, 10. And the GOET has given a number for that compound in the fish oil as 20. So many competitors are saying, see, our certification with IFOS, less is 8, which is less. No, that doesn't make a big sense. Why? Because the chemist in leading labs, internally and externally we have sent, when you measure 20 or 8, the way we measure, it is very hard to say that it is 20 or 8. When we measure something, it might give you 8, but it is not very clear that it will be less than 20, and it is actually 8, because there is many uncertainties in this measurement. So that is why that number is not exactly what it is saying. What IFOS are doing, they are just want to make, they want to tell that we are better than GOED and want to make more profit from trying to play the fearful effect in human. Oh, there is some bad, contamination. We cannot have that. But I will say that is untrue. The GOED certification is at par with IFOS. And we don't want to do unnecessary testing just to increase the cost. I stand by it. I stand by our product. I take it. My family take it. My son takes it. And I have got no fear. So again, I must tell you that don't get anxious that we don't have IFOS. We have IFOS in our raw material. It is just we don't have in the full product because it doesn't matter. It is that the number they have given, it is not totally exact. It's very hard to measure that. And it will unnecessarily increase the cost of our product. That is why we don't have. I hope I have kind of addressed this issue so that you are at ease with our product. So we can go to our last slide, which then shows that the Nutrilite Advanced XXX is our purest, most potent omega-3 with 3 times better absorption. So this is the last slide in my presentation. I hope I could impart some of the passion I have for Omega, and I could, at least transfer some of the things I have understood about the Omega-3, how it functions, how it is important for the optimal function in your body. And I hope that everyone takes every day of our advanced triple omega and tell your friends, your neighbors, your families to take it. Thank you. And I will be happy to answer any questions. Agnes, please take it from here. Thank you for this opportunity to connect.
唔該晒，多謝。
Thank you, Dr. Aaron. I believe that just now you have heard a lot about omega-3 and also new information about the new product. Just now, you heard a lot of information on how the sector tests the product. And I'm sure you will review this talk again and again. Now comes Q&A. If you have any questions on Dr. Aaron's presentation, please leave message in the chat box. We have prepared some questions for Dr. Aaron. First question. At present, for the new fish oil, what is the scientific format? Just now we mentioned SEDDS. Comparing with RTG format of fish oil, is it better?
So to answer that, what I will say is that taking omega-3 every day and having an optimal absorption of omega-3 every day is important. So you're not taking omega-3 for 5 days and that is all. You're taking it week after week, month after month. No one till now has shown that if you take the RTG form, you will be better after taking it for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. Nobody has shown. So in my viewpoint, what is important is that every day you take and you get the best absorption. So that is what our ethyl acetate form with the SETS technology does. And because every day your digestion is not same, because one day you didn't sleep well, or you are stressed for something, or you had other things. The absorption is not going well. So if you take RTG form or EE form, it will not absorb well because the digestive enzymes are not working well. But with the SEDS, with the emulsification, with the tiny vesicles are formed, the absorption becomes optimal every day. So every soft gel counts for you. So in my mind, our technology of ethyl acetate and SEDS, if not better, is similar to RTG form. We can go to the next question if there is any, Agnes.
明白。跟
All right, next question. SEDS brings 3 times more or better absorption. What is the reason why? So can you give a brief conclusion on this?
Sure. So the SES technology, as I told you, improves the efficiency of the digestive enzymes to work by increasing the emulsification process. And how that number 3x has come? We did the gold standard in clinical trials. Randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trial, RCT, and we found that when we give a group of humans only omega, and then another group of humans our advanced triple omega, and then we take blood after given time, and then we measure EPA and DHA, we find that the total amount of EPA and DHA is 3 times more when the group of humans took our omega, the EE plus the SEDS formulation. And we published in a peer-reviewed journal, and it is already published and it is accepted, and that is how we say it is 3 times more absorbed.
明白。
Understood. Third question. For this new product, is there salmon included in it, and why?
So in the new product, salmon is not included, and as I had earlier described, that latest science say that if you take the fish oil from fishes which directly feed on the phytoplanktons, we get a more pristine or more pure form of omega-3 with less contamination. And that then gives you the best fish oil. If we take omega-3 from the salmon, because the salmon gets omega-3 from eating the small fishes, so more chances of contamination, and that is not good. So that is why, with a lot of discussion, understanding the science of omega-3, we went with the fish oil, which is not from salmon.
明白，Dr. Aaron 啊，
Understood, Dr. Aaron. Our ABOs have many questions. So here are the questions concerning the new product, soft gel. What is the ingredient for the soft gel? What is the raw material?
What was that?
The raw materials. The raw materials of the soft gel.
Yeah, so because I'm not a formulator and I don't want to answer it incorrectly, so what I will do is I will consult with my formulator and I will send it to you, Agnes, today or by tomorrow so that you can pass it on. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to say something which is incorrect. So I will take this question and I will get back to you in a day or two. Okay?
明白。
All right. We have, after getting the information, we will include it in the training materials for everyone to know. Next question. Well, is there any research or study about DHA, EPA, and ALA? What is the optimal or most appropriate ratio among these three?
So, what the research I have read and understood, and when I've spoken with some of the experts, one of the experts is William Harris is his name. He has done a lot of research, and I have looked at his, his papers, and I've looked at his lectures. What it says is there is the ratios is there is not much data to say that these ratios are the optimum. What it tells you is that you have to take at least 500 milligram of EPA and DHA, number one. Number two is if you can take ALA, the alpha linolenic acid, the best way to take ALA is from food, like avocado, like chia oil, and in canola oil also in walnuts. Best way. And then if you need, you can supplement. So there is latest research says there is no clear-cut ratios, but 500 milligram of very similar amount of EPA and DHA is okay. ALA from food and maybe some supplementation. That is why in this formula we have get a small amount of ALA. And we have done this with small amount because we don't want our ABOs to just take soft gel, but to take the ALA from food. Why? Because it is easier to get ALA from food. But EPA and DHA, it is much harder because every day a lot of fatty fish, remember smashed? Every day that fatty fish is very hard to take. That is why we have made a high amount of EPA and DHA, but low amount of ALA to remind people that ALA from food, EPA and DHA from food, but also from our supplement.
明白。
Hope this answer is clear. If not, I can again talk to you, Agnes, and we can go later.
知道。
Okay, understood. I believe ABOs now understand the information. Last question. For this new product, what are some customer groups who may not find this product suitable? For example, pregnant women, is this new product suitable for them?
Yes, but again, I will always, tell that I'm not a medical doctor. So that is why always consult the doctor during special conditions of life for taking supplements. But the way it is my opinion here, I'm just telling my opinion, not as a medical doctor. I want to make it clear. Pregnant women needs DHA, especially DHA for the growing baby and for the mother itself, and also APA. So during pregnancy, everyone says you must take EPA and DHA, number one. Second thing, from my point of view, I think our supplement is suitable for pregnant women. If one of my relatives wants omega-3 and if they are pregnant, I will give them my omega-3. So I can say that. But then again, I will say, I am not a medical doctor, so please consult the medical doctor and you can show our product which gives all the ingredients in the label. And that then can that then can help the doctor advise the person.
明白。
Understood. Thank you, Dr. Aaron. So now let's thank Dr. Aaron for spending time with us in early morning in the US. So thank you for the detailed explanation.
Good morning. Bye bye, Dr. Aaron.
Goodbye, Dr. Aaron. Amway ABOs, please stay for 5 more minutes. We have some product information that we would like to update you. Now, for this new product, Advanced Triple Omega-3, we expect that it would be publicly sold in June. For the Omega-3 that we are selling now, we expect that in the end of May or early June, they will all be sold out. For this new product, the packaging is such that there will be 60 tablets per pack. And then, so here you can see the direct selling price at 370 Hong Kong dollars. Comparing our product with the other competitors' product, we are best-selling in the world, #1 in sales globally, and we have got so many certifications. Definitely, it is a guarantee of confidence. A friendly reminder. We have the Nutrilite standing order program for this new product. In early June, we will add it to the Nutrilite SOP. If you are already buying the old or the existing version, that is the salmon omega-3 complex, well, it will be updated to the new product automatically, and the price will also be adjusted accordingly. Well, for the supplement packs for men and women, well, there is omega-3, and the formula will be updated in the third quarter. We also have online support tools, including the training information today, the experts training, expert speakers training, expert speakers sharing video, e-poster and e-leaflet. So next week till mid-May, all these will be uploaded to the resource center on M-Shop. Please feel free to download the materials and share them with your friends. So this is the end of today's seminar. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave message for us. We'll contact you and let you know the latest information. See you next time. Goodbye.